Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We are playing with our hardcore Death Knight. Well, yeah, technically we have a Death Knight now. And we use Drain Essence to murder things. So last episode we ended up hitting level 12, which gave us a bunch of gear upgrades. One of them is this weapon that has some Ether Lightning on attack. The other one is a shield that has a Seismic Blast whenever we block something. Well, small chance. And we got the active Shield Slam ability, which is gonna hurt a lot. It's gonna hit for over 300 points of damage, which this early in the game, it's gonna be painful. Also, I had another look at the shop, found this ring here, 1 energy per second with some health and health regen, and an amulet with 1.5 energy per second and some lightning resist. So I bought those and added Ectoplasms to it, a couple of my only ones, and we're now up to 30 energy regenerated per second, which is more than the current cost of Drain Essence, which is only 25. So at the moment we are effectively not using energy at all, but that is gonna change in 2 levels once we get another add-on for Drain Essence, which is gonna increase its energy consumption by 12.5 per second. So now we're preparing for that. Also, hello there, Mr. Luther. And I'm gonna send him off to town, and that gets us access to a second vendor. I'm lucky he's in the bottom corner. There's actually the 4 corners of the area have 4 different camps that potentially could have him, but we got off easier. So that is it for this area. Well, actually there's a cave here. There's no devotion shrine down there, but there is a purple enemy, Primordian, the Forgotten One. So might as well go in there. And you did see some lightning spark quite far, which I think was for the new weapon, lightning. It does jump across, and it does do decent damage actually. It's like 150 to 180 points of damage. And for an ability that now the lightning is not buffed, the ether is. That's pretty neat. And there we have Primordian, the Forgotten One. It's level 15 against my 12. Shield Slam it. Just gonna Shield Slam. As you see, you see the health bar just tick down. Oh, and we're doing a decent chunk of damage here. That also helps. And then the loot orb and hello loot. We got a green shield, though this one looks rather plain. 22% block chance, blocks increases it by another 4%, so we actually get 26% chance to block out of this natively. But it's only some resist, we don't get the Seismic Slam out of it. So, nope. Green ring. Poor energy regen though, 10% increased energy regen. That actually is gonna become relevant now, because that is increasing by quite a bit. And especially if you also consider the PS and elemental resists as well, bonus to life and spirit. This is better than my current yellow ring. Actually, we can do a before and after comparison. I have one more Ecto. Let's put that one on here. So currently 29.29. If you plop this in, indeed we go up by 1 whole energy per second. So that was indeed a correct assumption. We are slightly better off with that one. But now it becomes important to find that assistant of the inventor. So she can actually help me remove some items or some components from gear I no longer use. Okay, there's a bunch of places where Treasure can be here. Ooh, another big strongbox. Lots of yellow items. Well, currently, no, I'm flooding quite a bit with yellow items. But the coin is useful to have. So let's actually just empty some pockets here. We do have to have a chat with the second vendor. Might as well do that now. Hello, Luther. And he's very grateful and gets some reputation. And all the yellow items are effectively there only for the coin. Ooh, double resist and a little bit of energy regen. Tempting, but not quite. Ooh, bloodbound ointments. That's some chaos resist. Don't think we quite need it. But it's nice to have for situations where I think I might. Ooh, 2.5 energy regenerated per second and more armor and a bunch of more stats. Yes, please, that is always good. Pants, more armor, some health, some resists. I think we'll just do that one as well. This is going to be a downgrade then. But this is the reason why I still keep the yellow items, since there are upgrades in here. It's not going to be until level 14 where we get access to medals. And let's have a quick look. The body armor and the pants, how are they? They actually are, no, the pants we can just put some health on. Don't think we need more armor, it's one of the better ones. The other one though, it can benefit from a little bit of armor. It is cast armor after all. And then might as well just put things in the stash. The stash is very inconveniently located. That's one of my pet peeves of this town. You have to walk relatively far back and forth in order to put things in the stash, but well, it's important to do. Oh, and the Ecto, that one is also something that we need to strip later on. So now we go back, and you know what? I'm actually gonna bump it up to green. It's these loot trips for just selling yellow items. It gets annoying relatively quickly. And now there should be another exit on this side, and then we can use that to get out. The lightning from the axe actually extends our reach a little bit. If we shoot at the first enemy of a group, the lightning actually has a chance of arcing further into the group, even though it might be beyond our actual reach for Drain Essence. Though once we get access to a Spectral War Shield, which doesn't drop until level 20 and it only drops from ghosts. Once we have access to that, the reach of Drain Essence is going to get extended by 2 meters. Which ought to help a little bit with the shooting at enemies from afar problem. Frozen Hearts. They don't drop too often, they drop from Nagas. So this is a nest that just keeps on giving. I see there's another pen here that Luther Graves could have been kept in. Journeyman's pack. And no, lots of items dropped, but of course none of them were green or better. And wow, look at that lightning zap. It has a 1.5 second recharge, 10% chance on attack. I attack every 0.3 seconds, so if I go by just ideal numbers, every 10 attacks, that's every 3 seconds we get a lightning zap, which is better than the recharge rate. So that's probably what it's going to average to. So if you flip that around, if we double our casting speed, we can actually double the amount of zaps that we get. You could prepare that to get a bridge so you can walk across, but especially on normal, the cave here, it has a waypoint, but it also has a devotion shrine and it has a boss fight. So those are always nice things to aim for. On the left hand side, which is more useful for the higher difficulties, or if you have access to dynamite, you can actually blow up some rocks and get access to an area with some undead and a boss fight with Roldrathis. I think it was Roldrathis, one of the undead priest dudes. I think there is a faction, I think the witches, the outcast that sent you there, which I think is the original way I actually learned of it, because I was sent there via a bounty quest. Ooh, Morningstar. A bunch of poison stuff, which I don't really care about. Reduced target's resistances for 5 seconds. So everything that has a weapon damage component or is just a straight up hit in the face will apply that. Poison Nova, 10% chance when you get hit, so it's defensive. And in 3-meter radius, you do a bunch of poison damage. It's not synergized. And I think I do like the lightning because I'm taking a rather aggressive role with this build, even though eventually it is supposed to become a tank. But though the tankiness is, I hope, not gonna come at the expense of my offensive capabilities, as was the case with my commando. That lighting, I like it. So I want a lot of proc effects that just have things zapping all over the place. Preferably kinds of zaps that do ether or vitality damage. Even more preferably also have them leech some of the damage that they deal back to me as life. So staying alive becomes even easier. Yes. So decent chunks of scrap if only you look for it, and look at the enemies explode. That is Spectral Wrath doing its thing. Enemies just explode. There's, especially this early on, they can't do anything against it. It's just too powerful. And that is level 13. The leveling speed has slowed down a little bit, which is okay. Can't always be speed leveling all the time. So level 13, I'd want to be like at 150. I have over 200 physique, so I'll just keep bumping my spirit here. Because spirit is damage, spirit is energy regen. Also at level 13, didn't I have items lined up for 13? Yes, I did. Ooh. A caster helmet, which boosts my damage a little bit, boosts my spirit, and it gives me more energy regen and elemental resists. Yes, please. So the head armor is still better than things like my arms and my feet. So we'll just continue with the constitution thing here, boosting my life rather than my armor. Gloves. This is an armor upgrade. It's a bit of damage, it's a bit of resists, a bit of spirit. Okay, cool. And this one had armor in it because it is among the lowest. Exactly, so we'll put that one in. And it's just a smidge better now. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Okay, there's a little secret over here that now only has a small box and a corpse. Sometimes there is a larger box here, so it definitely is worth going here just to see if you are lucky. Oh, yeah, okay, so these three are pretty dangerous, be careful. I think these might be the three that actually murdered one of my old characters. No, what I was talking about with the Isaac's location. Thing is, of course, I was a bit lower level there, and I don't think I had a maxed out Spectral Wrath to protect me. If you're not prepared, they will murder you in the blink of an eye. Berserker Cowl, that is not relevant for us. Cool. But yeah, triple heroes. They potentially hurt a lot. Or they give you good stuff. Oh, hello there, Ikrix the Rhymeheart. So if I had pushed through here, I would have actually faced 4 heroes at a time. Which would have been a little too much of a good thing. But no, the potential for loot, of course, is always nice. There's a bunch of refuse here. And then we have a combat shrine, if I remember. Yeah. Desecrated shrine. And this is one of the ones that doesn't actually have heroes pop out of it, if I remember correctly. There's the, well, relatively sturdy zombies. They, of course, hurt as well. But I have gotten used to combat shrines always having heroes pop out, and this one does not. So another devotion point, that's another one. Ooh, 100 health and a bit of defensive ability. Next one is gonna get us the turtle shell, which in panicky situations like we had with the 3 heroes before, now if we drop down to less than 800 health, 40%, then it is gonna give us a 500 point damage absorption shield, which kicks in after all of the damage mitigation effects. Hello, ooh, corpse. I like corpses. They have the good items. Okay, out of context, that's an odd phrase though. Okay. I'll just keep slamming you, because the shield slam is powerful. And down it goes. I remember early in when Grim Dawn was in its original beta, like beta 15 or something, walking up to this guy and getting absolutely murdered. And now it's just la 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 la. But of course, know more about the game, you're a bit better prepared, you have some components from other characters, you know where to get some green items, you know the value of components. Things change quite a bit. Okay, another bit of XP here. A blacksmith. So someone disappeared. We will look for him for Ingrim. Yes. So he has a hammer. He is a. So Duncan is the magical smith. Ingrim is more of a traditional physical smith. We're mage effectively. So we're gonna go with the magical smith this time. Even though siding with Duncan and just effectively we're just forcing / threatening / stealing the hammer from Ingrim. It's basically give up the hammer or violence will follow. Which, I don't know, it doesn't make us a hero. It kind of makes us a bit of a villain there, but well, in the world of Grim Dawn, even heroes are not pure of heart. And it is definitely in my interest to have a blacksmith who is more magically inclined, since I think there's a chance of just crafting some energy regen on some gear. And I like energy regen. Simple as that. I want your hammer. Duncan needs it. It's time it was passed on. And yes, I promise it will benefit humanity. Mostly the me part of humanity. Okay, so we can teleport back to Duncan at any time we choose, since it is next to a waypoint. Just have to remember to do it. But for now, there's a cave here. Oh, hello there. So I'm gonna go walk towards the cave. That's lots of spiders. I don't know, ever since putting on Spectral Wrath, I completely lost my fear of large groups of enemies, since, well, the more the merrier. But this is one of those caves where we will have yet another devotion point, and that is gonna get us the tortoise. Okay, and please die, thank you. Sounds kind of rude if you say it out loud. even though all actions always imply it. Anything here? No, not really. Probably more ether crystals. Yep, 2 more. Sure, there you go. Ooh, wow, 4 green items. Yes, please. But most importantly, Poba. 1 turtle, 500 damage absorption. Every 50 seconds, and every level it goes up, the cooldown ticks down by 1. So at level 25, it's gonna trigger every 25 seconds with, I think, 4,200 damage absorption. That's a lot. That's incredibly useful. So even though we're a caster, we're gonna stick with shields. So all caster offense are gonna be instantly rubbish. That one's not useful. This one's less armor, bit of chaos rest, but not that great. This one has more armor. It's got some stats, but it doesn't have energy regen. This one, vitality and ether. This one, in terms of damage bonuses, it's perfect. The cunning is even sort of kind of helpful, though spirit would have been better. And a bit of energy regen. But it's not as good as the other ones in terms of energy management. So it stays. It stays. So might as well just drain this one. This is a very nice cave in terms of ether crystal hunting. And as a side effect of killing the thing, the lashing out of all the procs and of the drain essence kind of affected everybody else to just fall over dead. Great, so now we can put more points into decomposition. So first point is 12.5 energy per second, so our usage now goes up to 37.5. Well, we get 19 damage added to every single tick of drain essence. Bonus to vitality decay and increased duration, so sweeping it over a group of monsters, it's no longer going to be just 2 seconds, it's actually going to be active for a longer time. And we can boost this one to level 3 as well, because at level 4 the energy usage goes up. So 45 vitality damage added on top of the base 14 ether damage. So this is gonna quadruple the base damage that we deal with Drain Essence. And on top, the vitality decay, 22% increased damage and 50% increased duration. So if we just manage to just tick an enemy once while sweeping, the total damage is now gonna go up by 60%. I think so. I don't think we're boosting it all that much. So it's now gonna last for 3 seconds. And enemies' offensive ability is reduced as well by 45, so they have a harder time hitting me. So in terms of the Necromancer side, well, actually, Spectral Binding is something I want to put points into, but I think I'll just put 1 point into Spectral Binding for the next 10 levels to just round it out, but we're also going to work on the soldier side. Because I want to get to, well, Blitz, just for some movement, but also Overguard as a panic button in tense combat situations. So, no, a little bit of a focus shift. And once the damage of Drain Essence starts to feel a bit lackluster, or if we have plenty of energy, then it is time to boost this one a little further. Because now the damage of Drain Essence should be noticeably improved. And that also means, of course, we need to use it a lot less often. Okay, just entering where we came out, and then to head back to the road, and then once we head into town, we can just teleport back. Just enemies explode, that's always the most satisfying part here. The other exit would have been there. But it's okay. There, I think we might actually walk into... I always forget the dude's name. The chef. The Master of Secret Blades. our quite mysterious friend, Ulgrim, yes. Tell him about the prison, and I'll see you there. There's actually quite a collection of people that you can eventually send to town. And every person you add to town, of course, gives you a little bit of experience for doing so. Okay, a bunch of insects and an altar that we can plunder. And plundering is good. Hey, Alistair's diary. Yet another house. That's just a kid writing things and a bunch of grobles sneaking in. It's funny, I think if I hadn't attacked them, I could have just stood there and Spectral Wrath would have just murdered them without really having any real option of them affecting my health. It's just that good. Next global camp, let's actually just walk in and see if they kill themselves, just to see if that point actually stands. Okay, there's 2 stars on the bottom left of the minimap. That is Balrus and Hagra. Oh, they have potential to do some decent damage, but on the other hand, we're now doing decent damage, so they're a lot less scary than they were a level ago. And in the end, they get killed, they get turned into XP. Yeah, might as well, since we are here. There is a cave that has a encounter that is dangerous. Not always there, but if it's there, it's a fun one to do. And that is an encounter with the man-eater, or the man-hunter. I think it's a man-hunter, not the eater. I guess after he hunts them, he eats them. Kind of boils down to the same thing in the end. Oop. And I think there's just possibly multiple entrances into that cave, or multiple spawn locations for the cave, but I only know of this one. So if it's here, we're gonna do it, and the cave is not there, so we're not gonna do it. If there's an entrance there, and you have confidence that you're gonna survive it, then that's a fun one to do. Let's see, trapdoor, but yeah, let's skip it. Don't really care too much. I just want to get to them. And then we get ourselves a nice fight. And I think we're kind of locked in here, aren't we? But the trapdoor there does take us out, so might as well. Saves us the trouble of having to walk around too far. Just a completely flimsy reason for just going down here anyway. So here are some beasties. They are a faction, and they're actually a faction already. So, and also they're pretty close to getting extra spawns, which is good. Oftentimes those extra spawns mean extra hero spawns. Which in turn means more danger, but also more potential for rewards. And I like rewards. They are good for you. Also, I kind of forgot about this. More spirits means more damage, means more good stuff. More leads, more energy. Enemies dying faster. Okay, we'll just keep tagging enemies. It's until we get our Spectral War Shield, manually flipping over all enemies is going to be useful. Afterwards, I think the auto of affecting multiple targets is high enough that you can get away with just focusing on a single target and letting the automated target picking do the rest for you. It is a very much a quality of life improvement getting that shield though. So getting to level 20, getting access to ghosts is gonna be important. And there's gonna be a rickety ladder at the end here. And there's some scrap in the barrels. You come out and instantly enemies explode. As I say, I like this build. It's oh, I was gonna test it, right? If we get ourselves surrounded by a bunch of enemies, and this is as good a time as any, if we just don't do anything. Look at them just murder each other. Okay, so there's 3 heroes here. Now I wanna be a little bit more careful. Exactly. So heroes, they get to skip that rule. I don't have enough survivability yet to actually survive completely passively tanking enemies to death there. But outside of heroes, we're doing pretty good. Quick cleaver, melody, bunch of green stuff. Okay, so if we are here, we might as well go into this building. Then there is a book here that we can read. The Dusty Lectern. And this is Cultist Orders. And it points out that one of the village people has been secretly siding with the cultists. Which is a killable offense. Which is good. So we can go back to... Oh, not to town. Actually, we have a blacksmith to grab first. So that's gonna be the outskirts. It's so easy to forget this one. And then you have to go back for it later. But here. Duncan, here is your hammer. There you go. I used the threat of imminent violence in order to be persuasive. Next episode we need to get Kasparov's assistant. That's becoming more and more important. Gruesome and bloody, and the zombies are dead. And we got some scrap and some iron bits. Then... a lot of things. Let's see, we will have to have a chat with Bourbon later, but we might as well have a chat with Drenny first. Drenny is secretly a cultist. So your life is forfeit. And well, actually, he is just gonna die incredibly quickly. And is no more. Loot a bit of steel from you. And then Drenny damaged the pumps, so we get some rewards for that, and a blood of Catan. And then Ether Rift into town has been secured, and then the next quest is to kill the warden. Duncan is now part of our merry band of adventurers. In the corner here is Olgrim, who is now cooking for things. Bit of reputation, bit of XP, and take some soup that refills your health and your constitution bar. I think you can use it once per login, but that's often enough. We are friendly with Devil's Crossing. Does that mean we have access to... Yep, to the quest over here with Constance. I will get you the fabric. Also, that is a reminder. Have a chat with Sadina over here, the seer, who gives you XP just for talking to her, and you can respec your skills here. Then over here... there's some lore. Completely forgot about that one. Hey, blueprint. Squire's Gauntlets. Wow, I haven't actually got that yet. Neat. I thought I had most of the lower level blueprints already, but I guess it was not. So, we gained a level. Yeah, so as I said, 1 point into Spectral Binding. That's gonna be the ritual for now on. 1 point in here. However, there is nothing at tier 1, so we're just gonna bump it. It's gonna be the next level here. That's gonna get quite a couple of points. 1 pointers spent. Okay. Berserker's Call, I don't like it. I'm just gonna sell it. Melody, it's also incredibly niche. So I'm just gonna sell it. Creek's Cleaver. Bit of attack damage converted to health, 5% chance of 112% attack damage, so that's pretty neat. Though if you flip it around, it's effectively on average a 6% health life leech, but it's going to be in larger chunks rather than in tiny bits. Bonus damage to humans, bit of cunning. Yeah, we'll just stash that one. This one doesn't do anything good for me. Skull Fetish of Tormented Souls. Ooh, +1 to drain essence. along with a bunch of other things that are useful. I want to keep that one apart. Just to keep it apart. Vitality, chaos damage, not... it's more armor, but there's no energy regen here. This one, I think we already looked at. Plus one's a Reaping Strike. We don't use Reaping Strike here. Bonus to Force Wave. We don't use that one either, offhand. So I know most things are just not that useful. Lightning resistance. I guess we're not maxed out yet, so I might as well just drink it at the beginning of the next episode. So just have a little bit of resistances. Also, along the way we did hit level 14 and then 15. So we do have access to the Isaac's Spolders now. A little bit more armor. A little... Actually, a decent amount more resistances. We'll lose a little bit of the health and regen, but no, we're leeching life, so I think we can get away with that. Losing some chaos resistance. Normally I do value my chaos resistance, but this early on we're gonna get 42% resistances from Isaac's Spolders. It's too good not to use. Then of course get the health increase back, so this one needs to be plucked like the other ones. The boots, are they still relevant? They are a massive increase in armor. So let's do that as well. And then because it's an increase in armor, suddenly it's among the better ones. So we'll just put a bristly fur in there. And look at that, our life is back to where it was before we swapped out of these things. So items do have a habit of just cycling around, and if you focus on just getting items with individually better stats, the average is gonna be better than what you started with. So I'll make sure everything is gonna be tucked away, and we do have the option of crafting things now, which is nice. The thing is though, the item I want is the Wrathstone. We need 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3. Merge them into this lovely little thing, a Wrathstone. Boost ether damage, converts some physical to ether damage, and grants us an aura that further increases ether damage, gives quite a bit of flat ether damage, and it gives ether retaliation. So even if Spectral Wrath doesn't lash out, melee attackers are gonna get punished even more. Early on, 100% bonus to ether damage is quite a bit. Spirit currently gives us 100% bonus. But outside of that, ether damage only gets 33% bonus. So with the bonus from Spirit, we're at 100... Was it exactly 100? Actually 110. So about 140% bonus. Adding another 100% on top, of course, is going to be pretty darn neat. And if we put it in our weapon and in our shield, then of course, that's quite potent early on. But it's level 20. So we need a little bit more time before we can actually use it. So for now, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.